Welcome back. As always, be sure to leave a comment if you have anything to add to this video or have any comments about the channel in general. Also, be sure to check my other channel, YC Games. It's one with the orange logo. And just a reminder, I will be streaming every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on this channel, mostly talking about Borderlands 4 predictions. So if you want to kind of sneak preview these videos or just want to discuss those videos, if you have anything you want me to add to these videos, let me know there. It'd be a lot easier to have a discussion there. With all that out of the way, let's jump right into it because we are finally back into what I started this channel for. This channel originated as a Borderlands 3 predictions channel video, so I am so excited to now be making predictions for Borderlands 4. Now, if you weren't around back then or you don't remember, I have 10 topics that I cover in each of these videos. Each video covers one of them, so this is part 1, talking about characters. Part 2 is villain. Part 3, planet. Part 4, guns. Part 5, experimental game mechanics. Part 6 is kind of miscellaneous. Part 7, story. Part 8, enemies. Part 9, DLC. And Part 10, who I think will die. Now, obviously, these is all speculation. This is just my prediction / wish list for what I want for the game. So if you have anything else you want to add to any of these videos, please leave it down in the comments because I make these videos more to have a discussion with you guys. And with that out of the way, let's jump right into it. Now, I'm going to start off this section with something that might be a little controversial in that I don't think we should have a playable siren this time around. We've had a playable siren for every numbered Borderlands game that's ever existed. The pre-sequel is the only one that we really haven't had a playable siren. And that's all well and good, but if we're going by the story, the fact that we have 4 sirens just part of the team, well, 3 officially, 4 if Lilith comes back with Ava, Tannis, Amara, and then Lilith if she comes back. I feel like another siren thrown in the mix, considering how rare they're supposed to be in the universe, it seems kind of crazy to have 5 in the same place. So I think that we should not have a playable siren anymore. However, it would be cool to have some kind of humanoid alien in its place. I'm thinking most likely a Guardian. Now, if we are at least getting the setup to this great war that was hinted at the end of the pre-sequel, I'll touch more on that in the part 7 when we talk about the story. But I think that it would be cool to have a Guardian on our team. It makes sense. We're teaming up with the Guardians. Why not be able to play as a Guardian and see more of their business? And that they could definitely fit the role of a siren, having those kind of mystic powers that we've seen them use, but just obviously a more powerful one to be a Vault Hunter, considering how it's pretty easy to mow through them in the games. It would be cool to have, to be able to play as that, a stronger version of that. While also on the topic of being able to play as characters that we were once against, I love the idea of Psycho Krieg as my favorite playable character. Not only as a character, but just fun to play as. So I think it would be cool to see, maybe not another bandit because, well, we've had Psycho Krieg already, but I think it'd be cool to play as a loader bot. The closest we've gotten so far, I guess, would be Flack just because he was a robot. But I'm talking a loader bot, like be big and bulky, and obviously be reprogrammed to like move faster and be able to use different guns and have some kind of action skill. But just think how cool that would be to be able to spec into like different, like become more a bull loader, become a flame loader, become an ion loader. Stuff like that. Like that was such a cool part about being Krieg, was how you could spec into becoming like a suicide psycho, become a burning psycho, turn into a badass psycho. Stuff like that was such a cool way to look at like those enemies as like now we can spec in to become that. And I think the loader bot would be perfect for that. Also, with Lilith not officially back, like they obviously said that she didn't die at the end of 3, even though it really seems like she did. If she didn't necessarily die, maybe we could play whatever siren took her powers. Now, I know I said earlier, preferably no sirens, but that's another cool direction they could take it if we were to still get a siren, would be the next generation of her Firehawk powers, to be able to see like how they developed and how they evolved, and now with the new game mechanics kind of going back to the first game abilities, but now we're just a lot more powerful. Now, my last idea for like an actual playable character would be another Beastmaster. Now, I like Flak. He's not really my favorite in Borderlands 3, but I just love the idea of a Beastmaster in a game like this. It's so fun, and I would love to see a different spin on that concept now. Like, we had Flak. He was great. That was a great version of what a Beastmaster could be. But I think it would be cool to have more direct influence on the animals themselves. Like, yeah, you just, okay, command them, go do that, whatever. But I wish there was more, like, direct modifications. Like, not those little side things they did in Borderlands 3 to add on to them, but, like, direct skills that applied to the animals. So that was the main thing you were upgrading, not the abilities associated with them. Now, one change I think they should make to all the Vault Hunters that I think would be very beneficial is to not attach the action skills with the skill trees. Now, I love that they added 3 action skills per Vault Hunter. That's super cool. Just more diversity, more different skills to play with. Super cool, very fun. I love it. However, I'm not a fan of how they attach each skill to each tree. So you're basically forced to at least go down that tree first. Whatever action skill you really like, you're basically forced to go down that tree if you wanted to upgrade that action skill. Now, I don't think it'd be that much of a change, really, to detach them. And any tree you go down all have skills that help every ability. Now, maybe in different ways. So let's say you have something vastly different, like Zane's drone versus Zane's shield. And you're going down whatever tree you choose, and you get to a skill that just normally would just, like, say, give the drone more gun damage. So just something stupid, silly like that. But then you're using his shield. Well, I don't want to get that ability because it doesn't help me. Now, obviously, they didn't do that particularly for that reason. But in Borderlands 4, I hope that you can get that skill instead of just, oh, all it does is give the drone more damage. Or give the shield more health. Something like that. Like, have it be an action skill so you know, okay, this is an ability skill. Whatever you buy, when you buy into this, it's going to help your ability. And it changes that help depending on what ability you have selected. So it'll always help you no matter what ability you choose to go down. I just don't like feeling forced to go down a particular action skill tree because I like that action skill. And it really seems like it wouldn't be too difficult of a change from the system they already have in Borderlands 3. Keep the 3 skills, keep the 3 skill trees, and instead of having those weird, like, little side bonuses, just put those bonuses in the tree like they used to be in 2 and pre-sequel, and just have them do different effects depending on what ability you have selected. Obviously have them all displayed, and yeah, some will probably help other abilities more than others, but I think that's a really cool way to continually evolve whatever your action ability is throughout the game, and you're not limited to just that tree. And then it would even evolve it more beyond that initial tree, because that was the other problem I had, was after you got through that tree, okay, well, now my ability is as leveled up as it can be. Now it's kind of boring, and we're only, what, halfway through the game, maybe, about when that happens for your first playthrough, not even talking about True Vault Hunter or beyond that, like the Mayhem levels. So I think that's a pretty reasonable change they could make into 4. That would really, and also how many cool builds you could do with that kind of system. I'm excited to see what people would do with something like that, and I think that would be a much better way to go forward. Now that we're done with the playable Vault Hunters, let's talk about the non-playable characters in the game, starting with the returning Vault Hunters. I am shocked we only got to see Maya and Zero return for Borderlands 3 from the Borderlands 2 playable cast. That is just crazy to me. And I know, yeah, we got Accent Salvador in that weird radio Battle Royale thing, and we did get Gage in the Hammerlock DLC, and a whole DLC dedicated to Psycho Krieg. But that's also crazy to me. Like, why would they not want to spend more time in the main game hyping up Krieg if they want to give him an emotional story in the DLC? Because if you never played 2 or know the story of Krieg, that doesn't really fit emotionally. But hey, that's a rant for a different day. But as far as Borderlands 4 is concerned, all those guys need to return, at least in some capacity. It makes no sense why they're not at least present on Sanctuary. I get they're all off doing their own thing, living their own lives, but you could easily have roped them in at some point. And that being said, why is the B team not a bigger thing? I get it, they're the B team, but those are some of the most fan-favorite characters there are. Brick and Mordecai and Tina, those 3 should have been running the shit right there. Like, obviously, they didn't because of, like, actual leadership positions and whatnot, but those are such cool characters that I feel are fan favorites. I love them. I love all 3 of them. Why were they not more present? So, as far as actual, like, predictions go, I really hope that Krieg returns to the B team and the B team becomes a lot bigger of a plot in Borderlands 4, because just one mission and like a couple of side missions you can do with them, ridiculous. It really feels like 3 was rushing as far as story goes and just how many characters they can cram into it, and it's just it suffers because of it. Like, take your time, let people actually enjoy these characters, because that's such a big draw for people in these games, are these characters. But also, I kind of got off topic. I was talking about returning Vault Hunters, and with that being said, if we don't see the Borderlands 3 Vault Hunters in Borderlands 4, I'm going to be upset, because they're cool characters. I would love to see them in an NPC setting. Like, they're not really established yet, because as you play as them, they all have their own personality, and that's great. And there's so much you can do with that character when it's not the player. So I would love to see these characters really be fleshed out. And also, I think Amara would be the perfect tutor, like trainer for Ava. Now that Ava's a siren and she lost her actual trainer, I think that Amara would be a very good fit for that role, because she's clearly been a siren for a long time. She was a celebrity before she joined the actual being of Vault Hunter, joined the Crimson Raiders and all that. So I think that would be a good role for her to fit in and actually make sense in the story of why she's there still, to be Ava's trainer, because there definitely seems like they're pushing Ava down our throats. And while I hate that, I guess we're just kind of stuck with it, and I'm okay with that. I remember saying way back when they first revealed Ava, I was hyped for it. I'm like, hell yeah, a Siren Apprentice, like that's so cool. We get to see her training, we get to see her evolve, like learn more about the Sirens. That's awesome, and I stand by. That's such an awesome concept, but her as the character is just super annoying. So I think they got to age her up a little bit. I'm hoping that the reason she was such a bad character was they were trying to go for this angsty teen thing. So if they get her out of that phase, mature her a little bit, so she's not just such a grating fucking pain in the ass all the way, that would be great. I would love to see her return if she wasn't so annoying. And I think that they have the perfect opportunity to just blame that on her age at the time of Borderlands 3 and bring her back just more mature. That really is the word. Just being mature, taking accountability for her actions, and just becoming an actual character, not just a whiny brat. And while we're on the topic of characters that were introduced in 3, the fact that Lorelei was also in Wonderlands really makes it seem like that's a character that they're going to also keep moving forward with into 4. And that's fine. I just really hope they drop the coffee bit, because, oh my god, why can't you just having a badass resistance leader, super cool. Like, that's a character you can do so many different things with. And then they gave her one joke, and they pounded into the ground when it wasn't funny the first time. That really seems to be a problem with a lot of Borderlands 3's characters, especially the ones they introduced, is they have one joke, and it's not really funny the first time. And instead of making an actual character around it, it's just the joke. And that's just bad. Like, that's just a terrible way to have a character. I have the same problem with Reese, who already was a cool character beforehand, but they just gave him the mustache joke in 3. And I feel like this is turning into a Borderlands 3 rant again, and I really am trying not to do that. But those are just the mistakes they should not make into 4. Bring back Lorelei, cool, but make her an actual character, not just a coffee joke. Bring back Reese. I would love to be partnered with a CEO of Atlas. Super cool idea. But drop the mustache joke. Make him the character he was in Tales again. Same with Vaughn. I would love to see old Vaughn return. He was such a cool character. He was one of my favorite parts about the original Tales from the Borderlands. And then they butchered him. Again, when they brought him back, they just gave him the bro joke. And that's all he was as a character. Give us actual characters. I like the idea of a lot of the characters that they introduce. Clay, a super cool, like, gunslinging bounty hunter on the run from the law dude. Alright, cool. But he doesn't like do anything. He's very unmemorable. I kind of forgot he existed when even like writing my notes down for this video. I just thought of him now. Like, he's just super forgettable, but he's such a cool idea for a character. Why not do more with it? I'm going to stop talking about Borderlands 3 characters now, because the more I talk about it, the more it's just going to turn into a rant about either how actual good characters they had in the past weren't used enough, or how all the new characters were just one joke that wasn't funny. And I can only say that so many times. So I'm going to move on and instead talk about what I liked, like Ellie. I am glad that Ellie was in 3 so much, and I love that she is like the perfect replacement. Like, her introduction in 2 and beyond, every part of the game she's in is just better for it. I love her as a character, and I hope that we get to see her in 4 as well. The only thing I don't really understand is why have we not gotten any replacement as the team medic? I get it's kind of not like a super important role, and like all the vending machines were in Tannis's room, so she, I guess, was the medic as far as 3 is concerned. But it's just weird that we haven't heard from Dr. Zed or Nurse Nina, which are both cool characters in their own right. So why haven't we seen them or gotten another character to replace them? Because they're just super cool. And in Borderlands 1, like, Dr. Zed is the first real character you meet, other side, I guess, Marcus on the bus. And it's just weird that he's not here anymore, or not even like have a replacement in the games anymore. That's just weird to me. But whatever, that's a whole thing for a different whatever. So my last note on the NPCs here, and then we're gonna wrap up the video, is there should be more random NPCs, like just faceless civilians. Like that just made the Sanctuary in Borderlands 2 feel so lived in. And really every town with non-hostiles in the games, it's just fun to hear little quips. You hear some of the funniest things just from random people on the street in Sanctuary, well, 1, I guess. And since Sanctuary 3's on a spaceship, there's just not as many random people, which makes sense because it'd be a lot harder to bring people. But I just never really noticed as many just random funny things they say. Like, they do once in a while, but it seems more rare, and it seems a lot just more alone on the ship. It's weird. So I would like, I mean, this is going to go into a different category, but I would like a more hub town rather than a hub ship. Because first of all, Sanctuary 3 was just annoying to navigate. I fucking hated it. But also that gives us the opportunity to have just civilians. Like, make them look cool and make them say funny things as you walk by. Just random, off-the-cuff nonsense that just makes you a double take of, what did you just say? Like, there's so many moments of that in other games that, and again, I'm not trying to just constantly bash Borderlands 3, but it's just very noticeable in Borderlands 2 that we didn't have that. So that's just my hope for Borderlands 4, is to have more of those random NPCs that just say random stuff as you walk by. Well, that about wraps up for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please leave a comment down below, because I really truly do make these videos just to have those kind of discussions with you guys. So if there's anything I missed, anything you agree with, disagree with, you think I'm an idiot, hey, let me know down in the comments, because I really am just wanting to make my little predictions, my wish list for Borderlands 4, because I want the game to be great. That's why I make these videos. So if you have any cool ideas you want me to include in a future video, let me know down in the comments. Also, come join me every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will be streaming and mostly talking about this kind of stuff too, but that's a lot easier way to have a direct back and forth. So if you have any cool ideas, bounce off each other, really develop it together, and I'll include in the video if it's cool enough. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.